Hello, I am Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz, February 25, 2020, 6:13 p.m. Birmingham. I've been out here in the shop. I feel pretty good, thank goodness, and working and piddling. And all along, I've had something on the internet. And if it's not Steve Quayle and Tom Horn, then it's Tom Hughes or someone else. It could be Hagman show, and but everyone is talking about the same thing. Tom Horn, if you've not heard, he's given recently a very chilling dream that he had not too long ago. One that he said he absolutely found himself in the floor, flat on his face, crying like a baby because of what he saw. And he goes to tell a little bit about it, and he gets very emotional. And you all know Tom Horn. If you don't, Skywatch TV, find him there, find him on Prophecy Watchers with Gary Stearman. But you got to hear this. He's talking about the asteroid that God showed him. And he's even trying to come up with a date, but of course he doesn't know that. And that asteroid is Wormwood. But he's making a really big deal out of it. And his book is proving several points, and some that NASA has hidden this for a long time. And not only NASA, it's been hidden from us. And but here I'm listening today with Tom Hughes on Prophecy Update videos in February 25, 2020. And it's Daniel chapter 8, the things that are coming. And I'm going to let you hear him just for a brief moment describe what it's going to be like for those who are left here, and what they can do about it, and what's worse is what they cannot do about it. Listen to Tom Hughes right here. And here we go. He's on Prophecy Update videos.
The crux of the decision comes down to something called a gravitational keyhole, a point in space where an asteroid's orbital path would have it pass into Earth's gravitational field and gradually circle its way down to the planet's surface. I'm interested in preventing keyhole passage well before Earth impacts. Talk about an asteroid hitting the Earth, right? That's what's going on here. It is like a preemptive strike with less mess. But then the author of this article writes this: God's judgment on this world in Revelation cannot be stopped. No amount of good deeds or prayer will stop an iota of it, but you can do something about it. You can miss it completely by getting saved right now.
Guys, what he just said, God's judgment on this world in Revelations cannot be stopped. No amount of repenting, good deeds, or prayer can stop 1 second of what is coming in this judgment. And this is not talking about just the asteroid. This is talking about the vials, the seals, and the trumpets, all these judgments. And still these unknown thunders, the 7 thunders that have been uttered, they could be judgments. No one knows. But what's coming, even if you're saved during the tribulation, you're going to see these things. Like God said, there's no repenting, no amount of repenting, good deeds, or prayer will stop it. But you can do something about it. You can miss it completely by getting saved now. Now, by missing it completely is simply John 3:16. Those who will miss the rapture and who are left behind, unfortunately, they're going to go through hell. But they will pass through it. Those who are saved during the tribulation, again, they're going to feel everything that happens in the tribulation up until the point they die. And just Steve Quayle and Hagman and, wow, I can't think of his name. Anyway, I'll get it in a moment. They're talking about, Steve Quayle has talked to someone in the military high up that knows that a certain number, like 500 and something guillotines have been ordered. Now, I reported on this a number of years ago that there was a well excess of 500 when I reported on this about 5 or 6 years ago. Guillotines in this country. Well, he's hearing more about that. It could mean that they're moving these things around to certain places. I don't know. But we all need to agree on one thing. The end is near. We don't know how near, but the end is near. It's at the door. And today, it's free. Today, salvation doesn't cost you anything but your belief that Jesus died for you on the cross and that he was buried and that God raised him from the dead. If you believe that, you have salvation. If you believe that, never can a demonic spirit enter into your body. No Christian can have a demonic spirit in their bodies. People who aren't saved, unfortunately, can. And it's hard to get them out. As you know, Jesus cast a lot of them out of one man, but it took Jesus, his power, to get them out. But guys, I'm just saying this virus coming out of China, the coronavirus, it's much, much bigger than we think. It could be very well a prelude. Just, let it circle. And what it's doing right now, it is slowly circling the earth in a certain number of countries. And this is not just 1 or 2 countries. This is a dozen or more. And when it gets in place, how do we know that it won't slow down a while, kind of be still, and then come out at the right time? We don't know those things. But once again, if this is the pestilence, just like the locust that you see right now, today, that's in East Africa, East Central Africa, all the way, look, it's all the way across Pakistan now and into the borders of China. And look, these people eat these locusts over there. China has sent out, they raise hundreds of thousands of ducks, and a duck can clean a 12-foot square ground of these locusts, but they can eat only so many of them. And that's what they're doing. I mean, you may think I'm funny, but no, I'm not. I mean, this is what they have done in the last 2 days. And it's a pestilence. They're eating everything that's green and leaving the ground bare. And even they die in place when there's no more to eat. But there's millions of them, and it's going to continue. So slowly, these things are coming upon us. And with this coronavirus, there may be others mixed in with it, and I'm sure there will be. In other parts of the country, things are going to pop up among these droughts in some places, among these severe flooding, like in Alabama and Birmingham, where I live south of Birmingham, about 9 miles. We have 12 inches over the amount of rain that we normally get by this time every year. By the end of February, We usually have 2 inches. We're at 14 inches, guys, right here in Birmingham. And so that's screaming for a host of mosquitoes and other things. You know, there's just these wet beds, and you got this warm climate here. We have flowers blooming out here along my driveway, and have trees that are budding and blooming. Some of the dogwoods have big buds on them ready to pop out. Well, they're about 6 weeks early right now, but yet they're coming. Seasons are changing, just like the Bible says, in those days there'll be a change of seasons. So we're seeing these things. We see that on the Mexican border, the poor people that need to get across and get to work are stalled by the amount of the numbers of those that are trafficked, that are forced through here, and they're sold out into slavery, sex slavery. And if you want to hear some more about this little private island out here in the Bahamas, not the Bahamas, but along the Caribbean chain of islands there, you'll see that there was a number of 11, 12, 13-year-old Hispanic girls that had been on that island, at Epstein Island. And I don't mean 1 or 2 or 3. Epstein's birthday, I understand that he had I'm talking about triple girls, all of them born, the triplets. That's his birthday present 2 years ago. 13 years old. Guys, this country, this world is screwed up. Bernie Sanders is just begging to put this country into a socialist undertaking that'll crash and burn within 90 days of him coming in. Of course, God's not going to let that happen to the United States. We'll have Trump another term, but Trump will be elected. But for how long? I believe he will be elected, but I believe he will not complete his term. In all honesty, I don't believe he will complete his first year on his second term. I think we'll be gone. Please just look around you, see what's going on, see how all these people are loading up on the borders, and the numbers of them, there's half of them that are from the Middle East and from African nations and even from India. If they don't open their mouth, they can pass by as Hispanic. I'm not being mean, I'm just being honest about that. And they're bringing stuff over that's going to hurt us. And the ones that need to work can't get through. The ones that we need to come to work, we can't get. Jody Wolf, Expoz.